Home and away spoilers. Perri in danger as his dad returns. Next week on Home and Away in the UK. In the show's penultimate week for 2024, Carl returns with a threat for Perri. Perri is placed in an impossible situation next week, after his attempts to have father Carl face justice failed. Perri had finally reported his dad for the years of violence he'd faced growing up. But despite Perri testifying in court, Carl was found not guilty and walked away a free man. Although both Tane and Harper had promised to be by Perri's side, the teen ended up facing the court alone after Tane raced to the hospital to be with Harper during a pregnancy scare. When we pick things up next week, Perri is devastated as Rose brings him back to the surf club. Still unaware of the reason why Tane hasn't shown up, Perri is also terrified by the fact that his dad is now free to come after him again. With Rose's assurances that she and her colleagues at Yabby Creek Police will keep an eye out, providing little comfort. Having been told by Alf that Tane had raced off to be with Harper, Perri is a bit miffed when Tane eventually shows and tells him Harper is fine, pointing out that his dad never kept his promises either. Perri cools down when Tane tells him what happened with Harper, and apologizes for losing his cool. He goes on to explain his frustration at how his father's lawyer had twisted his words and made him out to be a liar in the courtroom, with Carl's glare causing him to mess up his testimony. Rose is able to organize an avo against Carl, but Perri remains dubious that it will do any good if the courts weren't able to stop him. Then nothing will. Tane assures Perri that he will be safe, and reminds him that Carl doesn't even know where they live. But sure enough, as they return home, a vengeful Carl watches them. The next day, Carl has managed to get his hands on one of the class timetables from the gym. And as he loiters outside the club, he bumps into Alf, who is oblivious to his identity. Seeing the timetable, Alf tells him to head inside where Perri will be able to assist, giving Carl just the information he needs. Carl waits inside the club and ambushes a shocked Perri, warning him to not alert anyone or he'll end them. Needless to say, Carl isn't too happy about his son's attempts to stand up to him, stating that whilst the court case was bad enough, the subsequent avo is pathetic. Perri warns Carl that Tane will be back any minute, but Carl knows better, having seen the class schedule. Carl thinks Perri needs a reminder of his loyalties, telling him that he is his father and not Tane, and chillingly tells him that he wouldn't need to lay a finger on Tane to take him down. Accidents happen all the time, Carl points out. People get run over, brake lines can get cut, you just never know. With his threat imparted, Carl whispers into Perri's ear that he will be in touch. Perri later returns home, but cannot bring himself to say anything to Tane in fear of putting him in danger. What has Carl got planned?
Các bạn vừa theo dõi một sản phẩm của Home and Away Spoiler Today. Xin chào.